What's up, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the Mark II build. I know you guys have been waiting for this. I know I kind of hinted on it on social media a few times, did a couple little stories here and there, but now is the official start. We're starting to get some parts in. We're working with some amazing companies and people, a lot of guys who I've been friends with in the industry for a long time, and they were nice enough to come on board and help me out with some things. But I wanted to give you guys a brief overview of the car, where it is, and what we have planned for it. But let's go ahead and get into it. So anybody that's been following me for a while has already seen the Mark II in its original state and when it was wrapped last year for Alpine VW Fair. We've already removed most of the wrap. There's still a few little stickers I left on there just as some keepsakes for myself. I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of the car and some parts and some companies that worked with me last year that I really want to give some notice to and continue to show my support on this car. All right, so for starters, we have all the lighting here, the grille, the badges, even some of the indicators here on the side of the car. All that stuff is Black Forest Industries out of Cary, North Carolina. Those guys are one of the few that are still around supporting this chassis. We even went as far as to put their shift knob in the car in the interior. And back here, we have a set of their smoked tail lights. These are sort of like the Euro lights. They'll have the rear fog and everything like that. I think it goes really nicely with the new to me Freedom Design mid-wing. Still needs the gasket material made for it, but I think it's really going to set the car off, especially when we get into putting these boomerang fenders on. All right, so now we're going to talk about suspension. The Mark II previously, before I even drove it down to APR, the car got new control arms, new ball joints, new tie rod ends, new axles, new brakes, all that good stuff, wheel bearings. And I sourced all that through Black Forest Industries. Black Forest Industries, like I said before, they keep these chassis alive, and I can't thank them enough for all they've done for me. But we're going to update the suspension with all the good stuff from SolarWorks that you'll see in a minute, and ST suspension as well. But that about wraps up anything else that I needed to do to the suspension to get it where I wanted it. The only other little bit, which you'll see when we start looking at all the new parts, purchased some ball joint extensions from Autobahn Auto Works, who partnered with the build. That should kind of fix the geometry issues that I was having previously with this current setup. I was getting a lot of bump steer, and that should kind of get rid of all that. But we'll tackle that in another video when we start going through all the suspension setup on the car. So one bit to mention is these fender flares here are also from Black Forest Industries. They are the G60 style, I believe. They're a little bit more aggressive look, but we're gonna get rid of these, even though these are only about a year old, just because we're gonna be putting that boomerang kit on that I showed you earlier. I got a really bad feeling since this car sat outside that we're gonna have some rust underneath these guys, but I'm almost certain that I'm gonna have to trim out some of the wheel well anyway, or sorry, some of the fender anyway to accept those and the new wheels, because it's gonna be a really aggressive fitment with the 17s. Fingers crossed it's not too bad, but I have a welder and I have the skills to do it, so might as well just do it while we're in there and sealed and won't have to worry about it again. So that brings us to the driveline. This is a 16 valve, which originally came in the engine. Which originally came in the chassis. Same 020 transmission. This thing was bulletproof when I bought it. Drove it from Greenville, North Carolina, all the way down to APR when I used to work there. Zero issues. Thank you, Rehab. You gave me a solid car to start with. Knowing me, I couldn't leave anything alone. I took all the 16 valve manifold and everything off. I was running carbs for Alpine VW Fair last year. I ended up giving those to my buddy Chris over at German Performance. Shout out to Chris. And Miltech also helped me out with a full header back exhaust system for it, which sounds amazing. Can't wait to get the new stuff on it so I can hear it again. That about wraps it up for the engine bay. We still got a ton of stuff going here to kind of dress it up and update a little bit, make it more reliable. So this is just a small array of some of the parts that I have for the vehicle. This doesn't include the wheels and the other two fender flares for it, but I just wanted to give a shout out to all these guys. For the cooling system, we went with Autobahn Auto Works. We went with their Mark II stock style radiator. Had this Mishimoto electric fan controller, but they also sell those on his site. He also sent over their full silicone hose replacement for the 16 valve. We're also running his ball joint extensions. They make these in the 19s and 17 millimeters. Doing his billet crankshaft pulley with the trigger kit. I know currently we have the iBed system on it, but I do need to add a crank trigger since we're going to be running this motorsport style ECU, hence why we have the Haltech stuff here. Also running Autobahn AutoWorks' block off plate for the crankcase system, and we're going to incorporate that into a used APR catch can I had laying around. I had this MSD that we're going to be installing. Luckily I kept all this stuff from an old build and still have all the pigtails. I went with Dan ST out of the UK for a bike carb conversion. We got the nice ram air filters here. Came with all the couplers, hose clamps, even came with stuff to do the throttle cable linkage, throttle cable. And lastly, even though I do have these foam ram air filters here, do have a base plate system. This is a completely blank one that we sell, and I'm going to be modifying this to accept where the factory box went on these carbs. So hopefully that's going to look really nice. Worst case scenario, we'll run these foam guys. And when it comes to suspension, the guys over at SoloWorks really helped me out with these. They sent over a set of their coilovers, and they also hooked me up with ST suspension, and we're going to be running their front and rear sway bar setup. Shout out to all these guys. Could not do it without them, and I really can't wait to test all these products out and give you guys my honest review and hopefully educate you guys a little bit. And lastly, we have a new set of wheels for 1552 that are going to be going on. Those came from BMP Tuning. Shout out Autry. He's an awesome guy. We are gonna try and reuse these hand cooks that I already had on the car previously because I only ran them for about a year and a half. But these kind of old tired rotiforms that I had back in the day are gonna go away. Just really looking to update the car a little bit because those things were extremely heavy for the time. Don't get me wrong, I did love my rotiforms from back in the day. I had these previously on my Mini Cooper, but they're just kind of heavy and they're a little outdated because they're about a 10-year-old, about 12-year-old design now. I think the car just deserves an updated look. So that about wraps up the brief overview of the car. I'm really glad you guys stuck through this and listened to all my jibber jabber, but I can't wait to get started on this. I think we're gonna start with the driveline portion. There's a lot of wiring that's gonna be going on, and I wanna go ahead and get that out of the way, have the car running, and then we can tackle all the cool stuff like the suspension and the body kit and get this car looking awesome. Appreciate you guys sticking around and watching, and really looking forward to the next couple episodes.